Okay folks, welcome back to the Long Dark. Yes, we're back in survival mode and we are leaving the dam. You can see my fire is still burning. There's not very much long time left on it, so I thought we might as well just get ourselves going. I've drunk my coffee that I was brewing at the end of the last video and we are making our way back. Now we are fully loaded. I've also drank a little bit of water just to lessen our load slightly because we were very slightly over the weight limit. It was giving us a spraying risk, so I opted just to remove some of that water by drinking it just to reduce that spraying risk so that we can get ourselves moving in the opposite direction. So, not a good start. Oh, well I say that, but I found a couple of things in here. The only slight snag is I'm now overweight again.
This will come in handy.
Let's, I'm just going to eat, I think, a little bit of food. That might help. Just to reduce our weight again just a little bit. If I've got any that's a bit... Oh, I haven't really got any that's going off. Okay, let's drink that soda. I know it's not going to help our thirst, but at least it might reduce our weight slightly. We're still slightly over. Not to worry, not to worry. I'm sure we can live with it. Right, okay, so the only slight snag I've got now is I've got wolves all around me. So I'm going to try going the other way. Hopefully I can sprint ahead of those wolves. So I'm just kind of going to run this way. So we make our way back to camp office and our base, getting away from those wolves. Nope, we're not getting away from the wolf. The wolf is following us. Okay, so we're just going to have to keep moving, hopefully. The wolves do tend to behave with the wolves. It will track us. But as long as we don't stop moving, if we keep moving, it won't catch us up. If we stop, it will get us, but if we keep moving, it won't. So, just going to keep on moving. Hopefully we'll stay ahead of it. We'll kind of trot up to a certain distance and then just keep shadowing us. But of course, if we stop, or if something else causes us to stop or comes at us from a different angle, we are in a spot of bother. I want to really want to harvest that deer carcass. It seems a bit of a waste just leaving it there, but knowing that I have wolves tracking me and I have no weight capacity, I just can't do it. I'm going to have to leave it. Hopefully I can grab that on the way back. I left a deer hide and some gut in the dam, if you remember. I want to jump inside here. See if we've got anything.
This will come in handy.
Okay, well, we'll grab it. It's going to put us very slightly over. I'm not going to bother with that. It's a shame you can't climb up into the driving seat. Or onto the top of this thing. I don't really know what this is. I'm going to be honest, this is a... It's probably familiar to our Canadian or American viewers, but it's not familiar to me. It's not the kind of thing we see in Britain, that kind of rail vehicle. And I know an awful lot about rail vehicles. If you check out my other channel, I have several channels. If you want to check out my other channel, I'll pop a link in the description just so you can check that one out as well. You'll see I know a little bit about railway vehicles. Okay, so if we keep moving, I'll tell you what, we'll keep on trucking. We'll skip to this bit, and then hopefully I'll see you back in camp office non-eventfully, all being well. Yes, and within seconds of me saying hopefully non-eventfully or uneventfully, I am in trouble. I have a wolf tracking me. It's in front of me, and I think I may still have one behind me as well. There it is. I don't have the one behind me, but this one is going to be a little bit more challenging. Do I have the sprint strength to brave Sir Robin it? Let's try. What's the worst that could happen? Again, there's another deer there I really want to harvest. I'm just going to keep sprinting. I'm not going to go into the rail car, I'm just going to keep going. And I've now run out of sprint. But hopefully, let's just keep on trucking. And that wolf is tracking me, it is following me. But I'm going to keep on moving. I've got a fair distance to trek, but I am hoping that it will stay away from me and get a little bit of sprint back. Just to sprint that last little bit into camp office. I still get a little bit tense whenever I'm doing this, even though I know the behaviour of the wolves. And I know that if you've seen the wolf and you're actively moving away from it, it doesn't tend to jump at you. It tends to sort of maintain that distance. It'll run up to you a little bit and then it'll just sort of stop and just keep tracking you. It's only if you stop moving and it gets closer within that distance that it will actually actively attack. Most of the time it will just keep tracking you. You only tend to get jumped from behind if you don't see them and they're really, really close to you when they pick you up. If you're a fair distance away when they pick you up and you just keep moving, they tend to stay back. So there's a tip. If you're a reasonable distance from a wolf and you keep that distance, it will track you, it will follow you, but it won't actually attack you. So only if it gets within a certain range that it will actually attack you. So if you stop, or if it picks you up when you're very close to it, if you kind of happen to be walking through the woods and you don't see it, then it will run at you, but otherwise it will just follow you. So no need to panic. We're all safe. We're back in camp office. Okay, so we were carrying a fair bit of stuff and things, I like to call them, that we were bringing back from t'other side. So let's get ourselves organised a little bit here. Have we got any toolage and bits and bobs that we get drop off here? We have weaponry. We'll deal with that separately. We've got books, which again I'll deal with separately. So I don't actually have anything that I can drop. I've got lots of books. We're going to have to do some pretty sizable bits of research. I've got some ammunition. I have 3 rounds in the revolver. I may well just load the other 4 in if that's possible. If it's a 6. I've got 6 barrels in it. I assume I can use that. Can I use the rifle kit to clean? Yes, I can. So I've got a firearm cleaning kit, so I can actually clean my my revolver using the cleaning kit, which is now a firearm cleaning kit. So if I just bring that up, oops, I pressed the right button. Let's just load up. Ching! So it looks like I can have 6 rounds, so that means I think I've got 1 left in my inventory. We might as well hang on to it because it's not exactly heavy. Oh, I've actually got a whetstone. Didn't notice that. Let's pick that up. I'll go and drop that. I don't tend to carry these with me. It's a bit of unnecessary weight. You don't really need to be carrying them with you, as long as you've got them. Sharpen your hatchets and things with them. Okay, so, oh, yes. Have I got anything kind of materials-wise? No, I don't. I've got plenty of bandages, though. I'm probably carrying more bandages than I really need, so let's get rid of some of those. So again, that's extra weight we don't need to be carrying. And I'm also carrying quite a lot of antiseptic and stuff like that I don't really need. So let's ditch some of that. And we'll ditch some of these antibiotics as well. We don't need to be carrying one of those. Water purification tablets I very rarely use, so I'm going to get rid of them. I'll keep the stim, keep the painkillers, keep all of that good stuff. Okay. That's fine then. What else we got? We have got some matches. I'm tending now, I think, to put most of my fire starting material upstairs rather than down here. But I might put 1 box of matches down here. Again, my reasoning behind that is if I stagger in through that door and I'm in trouble and I need to get a fire lit quickly, I want to be able to get it lit quickly down here, not have to waste time getting up the stairs. But for most of my cooking and sort of planned fire making, I'm going to do it up here. And the reason I'm doing it up here is because this has got 2 cooking slots on it, whereas the other one's only got 1. Okay, so let's drop some of these matches. We'll get rid of 1 box. Don't need to be carrying those. Now, we're obviously carrying a fair bit of stuff. We're carrying a lot of books. And I'm inclined to just pop all these books up here somewhere so that I don't have to carry them around. But I know where they are. Ooh, wasn't there a trunk there? Am I making... I'm sure there was a trunk there, you know. I am absolutely sure there was a trunk there. Am I going mad? I'm going to have to go and check that. I am sure there was a trunk there. Unless I'm thinking Wintermute and it's just not here in Wintermute. And there was a cooler there as well, I'm sure there was. Unless I'm thinking Wintermute and they're in Wintermute but they're not in survival. But I'm sure they were. I'm going to have to go back and check that. Okay, so let's get rid of these books then. I don't know where to put them now, to be honest. Let's put them on here. So we've got lots of books that we can research. Kind of need to get on with that and do some of that. We've got a lot of these. I'll see if I can line them up. We've got Field Dressing Your Kill. We've got Wilderness Kitchen. Sewing Primer. Small Arms Handbook, which I assume improves our revolver skill. And then we've got the Frontier Shooting Guide, which is for the rifle. And we've got Frozen Angler, which improves our fishing skills. So we've got quite a few books there that we need to research. And once we've researched them, we can obviously burn them for fuel. Okay, so we are looking a little bit better at what we've got in our inventory now then. I think what we've mostly got left now is food. We've got quite a bit of food. I'm going to ditch some of the food. Oh, I've got some extra clothing as well. We can get rid of that. Cool. And then we need to head back to the dam to go and get the rest of what's in there. Although if we can also grab some of those deer carcasses on the way, that would be really cool. Right, I'm going to drop that in there, and I'm also going to just put the food in here. I can't be bothered with sorting it out. So if I transfer that, if I transfer the coffee, cool. And then we'll just ditch a couple of these bits of food in there as well. And some of these tins, the ones with the highest ratings on, we'll just try and get rid of a couple of them just to reduce some weight. Okay, so we're in pretty good shape then. Now I need to set this snare as well, because I'm carrying a snare around, which is very little use to me at the moment because I don't have anything to catch with it. So hopefully I can put the snare down somewhere useful. I think we were thinking about using that in Trapper's Cabin, to be honest. I thought that was a hunting knife then. We'll see about that when we get there. Okay, so let me just have a little bit of a think. I'm going to decide what to do. I think I'm going to head back to the dam, so I may well see you in the dam. Otherwise, we'll see where else we wind up. But I'll just have a bit of a think. Okay, so I am almost back at the dam, and yet again, I have a wolf-related issue. Well, the revolver works. And I got a hit in. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully that means that wolf's going to drop then. So I've come round a slightly different way. You can see the way I've come from, down there to the left, looking back. Oh, that's not a good thing. Hang on. Just make sure he's not going to... My only concern when that happens is, when they're in their kind of running animation, they'll ignore me. But if they drop out of that running animation right when they're next to me, they're suddenly going to attack. Yeah, so I came a slightly different way around, past Alan's Cave, for those of you who know where that is. If you're not sure, doesn't matter too much, I'll show you where that is at some point. But basically you head out of Camp Office onto the lake, and then you bear around to the left rather than heading to the right where the cabins are, and you wind up at a little bit of an access. It's where the river comes into the lake. You go down there, follow it round, bear to the right, and you'll find yourself going past the cave with a hunting stand. And I also harvested another deer carcass from there as well. So we've got ourselves another deer hide.
Starving.
And we've got ourselves some more guts. And obviously that wolf is definitely, I would have thought, going to go down. So hopefully we can get ourselves a wolf hide as well. I also planted a snare on the way past. There's some rabbits around that way, which is why I went round that way. So there's some rabbits there, so I put a snare down. So hopefully we can get ourselves some rabbits as well. But we're back at the dam. So we're going to warm ourselves up, and obviously there's a few little bits that we didn't loot when we came over here last time, and I think it was primarily this area. So let's just have a quick look around. We got some gloves. And we got absolutely nothing. And I think over here there was a briefcase. I can't remember. No, we did go in there, and we left something in there apparently. Oh yes, newsprint. And did we go through these drawers? No, we didn't. Let's have a quick look. No. No. Nothing. Okay, so not very much in here anyway. So we have one deer hide in here already. We are now carrying another drop along with some gut. So I'm going to drop those. Oh yeah, something else I picked up as well. I'll show you in a second. Let's just get all this laid out nicely so it can start curing while we're in here. Don't want to waste any time. If we're carrying it in our inventory, it won't start to cure. You have to put it on the ground. I also picked up some birch saplings. I found a little group of them, 5 of them. We can craft and repair things with this. Again, they need to cure inside. I can't remember what it is that they are used for. Birch, 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 birch. Arrows. So we make arrows with birch, which means that we need to find maple, I think it is, which is the other one. And we drop all 5 of them, and that will start the curing process. Just move them up here so we don't lose them in amongst this tangle of cables. So that will start the curing process. So again, whenever you're indoors in this situation, always drop all of these kind of things. They will be curing while we're in here. It's coming up to night time now, so I'm not going to be travelling back. So we might as well leave them here and they'll start to cure, and then obviously we'll pick them up when we're ready to go. Let me head up the stairs to where we left all of our other stuffs and see what we've got left to bring back. I honestly can't remember. I know I did leave some stuff up here, but I can't remember what I left. I don't think I left anything. Oh, I didn't bring my pry bar to get into that cupboard, but I'm not too bothered. What did we leave behind, and where did we leave it? It was one of the big drawers that I left it all in, wasn't it? Was it this? This is where I can't remember where I left stuff. Oh, was it? Oh, was it one of these lockers actually? Yes, it was the locker. Okay, so we've got a couple of broken arrows. We want to take those. We have another storm lantern. In fact, we have 2. So I really want to take those. In fact, we have 3. Blimey, how many storm lanterns have we got? 2 can openers. Again, I want to get all of this back, if I can, to camp office. We're going to be a bit encumbered. Blimey, I'm going to have to do another trip. Is there anything I can leave behind that I don't need to be carrying with me? Blimey, so many storm lanterns. Let's ditch a storm lantern in favour of something more useful. Fuel. Oh, it's only because we're a little bit tired. That's the only reason why it's tipping us over. Hook. That's going to be useful. And was that 2 of those that I saw there? Or am I just going slightly... No, I think there was just the 1. Okay, so we're just about on point. Let's grab a couple of those bits of charcoal. And that should just about be okay for us to carry. So there's still some stuff in here, but not too much, to be fair. So we're not doing too bad. I don't think I left anything in the other locker. Oh, I left a bit of clothing in there. Not too bothered about that. I am actually carrying some other clothes. I think I've already been through this. Let's ditch the clothing we've got. I think I'm already wearing my warmest set that I have at the moment. We might well come back here and do another little collection of movement. I'm going to shut that door as well. I'm just always nervous that a wolf is going to appear. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do now then, we'll sleep through the night. And then we'll think about heading back tomorrow morning, back to camp office with another load of stuff. And I'll show you the cave on the way, I think. Well, good morning. We are back here in the following daylight. We're still here in the little office. Let's make our way down. Okay, so I'm going to make my way back now to camp office. I'm going to go via the cave. So we won't cut this bit out. We'll show you just so you can see where that cave is if you have never been to it. In fact, I might kind of aim for the cave and then just sort of camp out in there a little bit. Yeah, so not too bad. I've just had a thought. I've filled myself up completely, which means I can't take my deer hides and stuff with me. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it here. They've cured pretty well overnight, actually. The only thing is, they've cured far more than they had done when I came back here from a day away. Oh, actually, to be fair, we went there and back in a day, didn't we? So, yeah, so they're going to cure. So I'm going to leave them here, and hopefully by the time we get back from heading back to camp office on another round trip, they'll have cured a little bit more. So we are heading in the direction of being able to make our first clothing in the game. We're going to need to get some more deer hides. Oops, not too bad. It's going to be a bit chilly. It's not too bad, actually. Okay. I'm not going to bother with a fire. I'm just going to head to the cave. I might make a little campfire in the cave. So we'll make our way this way. I'm starting to run a little bit short of food. So I am a little bit concerned. I'm going to be honest, because I am a little short of food. I'm going to start rationing myself a little bit. Be a bit stricter than I have been. Okay, so we're going to head this way. Now, obviously, we took, or we think we took, talk of the devil, and we shall find it. There's the wolf we took down. Now, that changes the dynamic ever so slightly, because I kind of want to harvest that quickly. I'm also going to grab these reishi mushrooms, because, as I say, we are running out of food, so any source of calories is going to be welcome at this stage of the game. So I'm going to grab these reishi mushrooms. Now, I really want to take this wolf back into the dam. Can I quarter a wolf? I can quarter a wolf. It's going to take me an hour. Yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to get very cold, but I'm not too worried. So I've slightly changed my plan. I am encumbered. I'm leaving 4 wolf feet on the floor. That's a bit dramatic. I am encumbered and I am moving very slowly, but I am hoping I can get back to the dam. Bet you I can't sprint. Oh, I can sprint. Not very well. All I'm bothered about is getting through that gate. I'm not really bothered about anything else. So obviously I've changed my plan ever so slightly because I wanted to get that wolf. I didn't want it to go off and disappear out of the game world by rotting away. We'll get through this gate and get the gate shut so that we know we're safe. I'm going to take our time now. So, okay, so we're not going to head to the cave in this video. What I think we're going to do, we'll sort this wolf out. I want that wolf pelt more than anything else, but the wolf meat will be very useful as well. Again, there is an affliction. For those of you who are not familiar with the Long Dark, there is an affliction. Intestinal parasites. It's a lovely affliction, which you get if you eat too much carnivore meat. Carnivores, of course, being bears, wolves. I don't quite know what the moose counts as, because I've never actually managed to bring one down, so we'll find that one out when we finally do it. But certainly we can't eat lots and lots of wolf meat, because if we do, we get this affliction called intestinal parasites, and it can cause massive condition loss. So we have to be a bit measured when we're eating wolf meat, but I'm not going to waste it either. I've worked out you can have about 4 pieces of it quite safely at a time, but then you have to let the risk of that condition go before you try having any more. But the pelt is what we really wanted. So let's drop that pelt, and we'll drop those 2 gut as well. So we've now got ourselves our first wolf pelt, and we've got ourselves some more gut. So we're actually doing alright in terms of the crafting for clothing. Wolfskin coat is obviously what we're aiming for, and deerskin boots and deerskin trousers as well. Hopefully a little bit later. So we are making a start. Let's have a quick look at this. Quartered wolf. I need to harvest it, which is much safer for me to do now. Nothing to harvest because I've forgotten to select it. I always forget to do that. So that's going to give us a little bit of wolf meat. I don't know whether you can preserve it any longer by keeping it in your inventory. I mean, it's dropped 7% already, so let's harvest that wolf meat. So the wolf meat, we can't have too much of it, as I say, or we'll get this risk of intestinal parasites. Obviously, to cook it first, but it is going to be welcome food that we are desperately in need of. So we'll probably keep it here, and we'll probably cook it here before we head out over to Camp Office. So what I'm going to do in the next video, I shall do my little trip to Camp Office. We'll cook up our wolf meat. Then we'll probably wind up coming back here, but trying to collect some deer hide on the way. If you remember, there's a couple of deer knocking about in various places that we want to try and harvest. There's one by derailment, and there's another one up by the logging camp. So hopefully we can harvest those 2 deer as well as we go past, and that will give us 4 deer hides, which I think is what we need to make the first of the wolves, the deer skin clothing. And then we really are getting ourselves ready for long-term survival. We've got ourselves some decent clothing, but we've got to dodge the wolves on the way, and then we're going to have to keep looking for a rifle. I was really hoping I'd find one in the dam, and we didn't find one, so I'm really hoping that we can find a rifle here in Mystery Lake. Although we've pretty much been everywhere, I don't know where else we haven't been yet. The only other place we haven't really been is the old forestry lookout, but I can't imagine we're going to find one up there, but we might go and have a look. But right now, as always, thank you so much for joining me for some Long Dark Survival. Really hope you're enjoying the series. If you've got any questions, any comments, any tips, any advice, anything that you want, just drop us a message down below and I'll help you as best I can. Remember to hit the 2 playlists that you'll see on the screen at the end of the video, just so you can check out the Wintermute and also the rest of this series if you've come in halfway through. And as always, I shall see you again very, very soon.